So welcome once again. Today we go again. Now we have been looking at, like in the job club, we looked at various aspects. Like we keep saying, getting a job is a full-time job, you see. Getting a job is a full-time job. And there are various components that we look at this um, job club. Let me launch my, okay. All right. So there are various aspects and things you look at when it comes to looking at employment. A lot of various moving parts. And one of those moving parts are these things you look at. There's a need to know, how do you find your motivations? This program is an 8 week um, program, or which you plan. But interestingly, it's 8 weeks program. So in which one we could look at finding your motivation, overcoming obstacles. What are the obstacles that are hindering you from finding employment? You need to identify those obstacles and know how to, remove and unblock yourself. Then discovering your strength. Look at discovering your strength. We look at getting to know employers. You need to know the way employers think. You need to know how to get into the mind of employers and know how they think. Also, you need to know how to write your CVs, because as you are applying for jobs, you need to have the skill of making appropriate changes to those to your CV, because every CV or every job you're applying to, you need to make changes, appropriate changes, before you send the CV in. You cannot just use one CV and send it out to all jobs you're applying for. You need to tweak the CV to align with the job you are applying to. So that's very, very important. So we do that on two parts, 2 weeks. Then we now look at succeeding in interviews. And I do apologize, even though I said this session is an 8 week course. When it comes to succeeding in interview, the sixth, I normally take the latitude, because I told you there are 15 questions you're supposed to know, 15 questions you're supposed to prepare for when you are going for an interview. And because there are 15 questions, sometimes I spend even 4 weeks treating, and we've been treating this, we cannot finish 15 questions even in 4 weeks. But again, today we are looking at succeeding in interviews. And the topic I mentioned last week is what I want to, work on today. And then the last session is getting ready for work. After you have gone through all these topics, you now need to be in the frame of, how do I get ready for work? How do I show up on the first day of my employment? How do I show up at the place of employment on the first day? So today we'll continue, we'll go on to uh, succeeding in interviews. And like I did mention, that when it comes to succeeding in interviews, there are things to look at. We have considered some topics. Let me try and get again. We have considered some topics that has to do with succeeding in interviews. So just to give a reminder to those topics, I know I have limited time, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. That anytime you show up in an interview, you need to understand that you're going to be doing the star R technique. Every question and everything you are answering will be about setting up a situation, a task, an action, a result, and a reflection. What did you do in every question they are asking you? That is very, very important. Again, we have looked at another thing which is always asked at interview. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. In other words, what do you have that will make me to employ you in this job I'm looking at? And that will look at those acronym QESAD, KESAD. So you need to be able to look at that. We have also looked at the issue of why should I hire you? Why are you the yeah, okay, let me open the PNG. Apologies for that. So we have also looked at why should I hire you? Why are you the best candidate for me to bring to my company? So that's also we have looked at, and that is QKSFD. You need to know all this acronym. We have also looked at why do you want to work here? Out of all the companies in the world, why do you choose to come to this particular organization to work? And the other one we have is EVSFD. You evaluate your intentions. So, but today, oh, I know you're not seeing, I guess you're not seeing, but not to worry. Maybe it's still showing. So what you're going to do today, which I alluded to last week, is last week we looked at tell me um, of a difficult situation. How do you handle the difficult situation, isn't it? That was what we did last week. How do you handle um, a difficult situation? Yeah. I hope you can see my screen. What can you see on my screen, please? Are you still there?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
I can actually see.
a list. I can see a list.
It's like a
So it's
list
a
of
list you are
questions.
seeing. You're not seeing tell me of the question. Uh, okay, let me stop sharing and then I will share again. Good day. Who is Kemba's Clothing? So this tell me of it. How do you undo this? Is what we did last week. How do you handle a difficult situation when you go for they want to see that? But today, quickly in the time we have remaining, we want to look at tell me of a time when you failed. That is what we want to look at today in the short time that we have. So this is what we want to look at in the short time we have. Tell me of a time when you failed. The same way of asking this question, if they don't say, tell me of a time when you failed, is tell me of a time when you made a bad decision. Because every day we make decisions, you know. Or they can say, tell me of a time when you made a big mistake. And the reason why they want to know this, when any question you are asked in the interview, don't just begin to talk. First, reflect. First, ask yourself the question, why are they asking me this question? Because if you are able to quickly know why they are asking you this question, it will help you to know how to respond and how to answer that question. So would the employer want to know of a time when you failed? First and foremost, they want to know, are you a person that passed the buck? You know, the blame. You play the blame game. You don't, you know, you play the blame game. They want to know if you always play. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
What can you still see?
Tell me about the time you failed or made a
Okay,
bad
good.
mistake.
Okay, good. Thank you. So they want to know if you pass the blame, if you just say it's not my responsibility, it is that person's responsibility, and you push to that person. So they want to know if you're a person that learns from mistake, if you always learn from your mistake. And in life, we all make mistakes, isn't it? They want to know, what did you learn from that mistake? They want to know, how do you handle setback? And all these things, you're going to see how I'm going to deploy, I apply it now. You see how it will play out. How do you handle setback? They want to know if you handle setback, or if you're a person in which when there's a setback, you sink, you go into depression. And when you go into depression, when you go into depression in the team, it's as if maybe you're going to drag all the whole team to go down with you. They want to know if that kind of a person you are, that when you are having a bad day, the whole team must have a bad day. They want to know what kind of a person you are. They want to know if you are resilient. And all these things is important. And you could see how I'm going to use, you must weave it in your response. You must show this in your response. They want to know if you're able to keep moving, even though there's a setback, you keep moving, you don't just, end everything, you keep moving. They want to know if you are self-aware. Are you self-aware? They want to know if you have a problem-solving mindset. Do you have a problem-solving mindset? They want to know if you are reflective. So these are the things that the employer is looking at. They want to see all these things coming. So your answer must incorporate, must demonstrate all these critical things. So, and again, why am I putting it in QK SRD? Those are the acronym for each of the things you see in the boxes. You remember last week, it was QKSHD. H was the handling. How do you handle that bad situation, that hard situation? But today is QKSR. R here is recovered. Did you recover from the problem? Did you recover from the bad decision? Did you recover from the big mistake? Did you bounce back? The employer want to know if you bounce back. They want to know when after you have failed, did you keep moving, or you just say, well, let's shut it down. Everything must just go down now. Are the things they want to know. So don't just talk about the question they're asking you. Don't forget, every response must be listed and presented in STAR: situation, task, action, and reflection. And this is a good opportunity where you can use the reflection. Now, what did you take away? Your takeaway from that problem. So quickly, in answering this question, talk about your qualifications. Talk about your knowledge about the company. Quickly, don't spend more time on the qualifications. Don't spend more time on the knowledge. Don't spend more time on the skill and the recovered are very critical here. And also, of course, the D, demonstrate how you're going to add value to this new company, is very important. So let me quickly give, uh, or would you like to give an attempt? Anyone want to attempt? Tell me of a time when you failed. Anybody want to attempt it? Let's see. Any takers? Tuodros, any take you want to attempt?
Yeah, so I have failed many times in my life, but it's usually related to exams and exams related. So basically, um, I have failed an exam during my training programs, and the way I dealt with it was basically I went through the feedback that was given to me, and on the feedback, it basically highlights weakness and then areas that I needed to improve on. So in some cases, I bought a book to work on my weakness. and I studied harder, and then also done my exam again, and then managed to pass it. So yeah, I have built and learned from my mistake and improved on it.
Good. Thank you. That was a good attempt. Yep, yep. And again, like you mentioned there, it's the example you are going to give for in answering this question, um, should be honest. They want to see your honesty. They want to see your integrity, your honesty, your truthfulness. So in answering this question, ensure you don't blow a very small problem, you blow it big in trying to magnify it and exaggerate. No. You just be truthful and like you just did now. So quickly, if I was supposed to answer this question, and you could see under recovered, there are some examples we have given there. So the examples of, did you miss deadline? Did you miss missing deadline? Did you understand? Did you know you did not understand the budget of a particular project, and so you overran budget or money finished? Did you ignore customer feedback in your place of work? Did you cause miscommunication within the team? Did you cause miscommunication within the team? Did you Were you unsuccessful when it comes to sales initiative? Or did you fail at managing heavy workload? Did you fail at not delegating, which led you to be overwhelmed and there was a problem in the organization? So these are just some of the examples. So if I'm supposed to answer this question, so how would I answer this question? I'll say, thank you very much, sir, for asking that question. Well, like I mentioned earlier, as a professional with experience, 10 years experience, you would assume that I would definitely have a lot of stories when it on my learnings during this career. And looking at your organization and the industry where you directly where you are, looking at your customers and service, I know that it's possible that we must be working in a team. And one of the skills which I try to, work on, hone my skill, is that skill of being self-aware. I'm always trying to be self-aware anywhere I find myself. And I'm always wanting to own my skill of resilience. I always also try to take responsibility anywhere when I drop the ball. So regarding to a time when I failed, what quickly come to my mind was a particular time in which I was working with a team, and there was a new team while the old team, which I was part of, was moving away. But somehow, in having a conversation with the new team, it seems to show a kind of discord, which I was not, I will maybe micromanage this new team, not allowing them to take charge and take control. And when that feedback came to me, I felt very sad because of losing respect from this team, which I've supervised before. And again, it did not bring about cohesion among the team. After recognizing my fault and the thing I did wrongly, I met with each of the team members and tried to take responsibility and apologize to each of them. And I, again, gave my commitment and my loyalty to say, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you succeed. And after that, meeting with every member of the team and apologizing to them, the team came back strong and better. And I tried as much as possible that I could support them. And the end of result was that the team succeeded. The project that we're supposed to achieve, they achieved the project and they went even far beyond and higher than the team which I was part of earlier. So that was where I recovered. So it was a situation, and from that I learned that when it comes to team and team building and team cohesion, one needs to manage information. One needs to not to micromanage the team. One needs to allow the team to take decisions and not to, say things that could be seen or misconstrued as not being loyal or not being committed or not being able to supervise and to help them to succeed. So how does that help? Then at the end of the day, the organization bounce back. It increases the performance of the organization. It helps improve the process of the organization
Yeah.
of that particular organization. And at the end of the day, they were able to meet the corporate objective. So I hope I've attempted to answer your question. Thank you very much. So how would you rate my response?
No, that's well structured. I think it's really good. Would it be possible to get this PowerPoint? Because it actually gives you a guidance as to how to answer this question. It would
Yes.
be good to have a look at this slides, like the PowerPoint.
Yes, I will share. I will share the. Is a picture. I will share it. I will share it with your. I will share it on the WhatsApp group broadcast list. With the one of last week also. What
Ah,
you
thank you.
what people have were the old ones which I shared earlier. Those ones have
Okay.
been in circulation. I will share these ones also. So you see, it's important that you own the mistake. You own the error. Don't say it is not my fault. Don't say it is the fault of that person team member. It was because that team member did this, and so it became a problem, and so we failed. Nobody wants to work with somebody who always picks on people, always points to people as the reason why he or she failed. It's good in life to always have that issue of being self-aware. And you could see what I technically did in demonstrating the skills that I have for this job I want to work with. I have put in there those skills that tied with bouncing back, resilience, self-aware, taking responsibility. You see, I've demonstrated that skill to say that told them earlier, I've set them up to say, I have the skill of self-awareness, I have the skill of resilience, I have the skill of taking responsibility. I now use those skills in answering under the R, in answering the question to demonstrate to them that I made a mistake. I apologize. If you look at this, I said, I believe failure is opportunity to learn. I didn't mention that, but you could see that in my communication, that came out, even though I didn't say it categorically, that I believe failure is an opportunity to learn. So it could be anything. Oh, you fail in time management. You did not you missed deadline because you failed to plan appropriately. You failed in time management. So you missed deadline. You must always don't end on a negative note. Please, 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 please. Don't end in answering this question on a negative note. Or don't say you burnt the company. Or the company folded because of you. Because if you say the company folded because of your bad decision, it means they will say you're going to come and fold our company also. You're going to come and you're going to come and make the same decision and fold up our company also. So always ensure that whatever you are saying, don't give a sour taste. Don't end on a negative note. Don't end. Always show that you bounced back. Always show that you were resilient. Always show that you were reflective. Always show that you took responsibility for what went wrong and you brought steps. Like Tudros, you mentioned the fact that when you failed in those studies, what did you do? You looked at the feedback, you see what you're doing. You went to buy a book. You see, that's
Mm.
an action. You went to buy a book that can help you solve the problem. Maybe you are leading us to, and there's another question which we will take next time. What is your greatest weakness? That's another question altogether. They look similar, but there are various slants and nuance to them, various slants. Maybe we can look at that again. I just feel like having these questions, like I told you, 15 questions in an interview. you need to be prepared when you're going for interview to have these 15 questions nailed, and you have examples to reflect each of them. Maybe next week again, if God tarries, we can look at what is your greatest failure. You could see this um last week and this week and this one I'm planning to do next week, they seems to be negative, but it shows that you are human. It shows that you are truthful. It must demonstrate that you are truthful, you are honest to be able to answer these questions. So is there any question? Because my other meeting has already started. So any question whatsoever? Any question? Good evening, sir. Okay, sorry, good afternoon, rather. Mr. Akintaye, good afternoon, sir. You should be able to tell us example of this, sir. You have a lot of experience. Mr. Benjamin, sir, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, but I'm in another meeting. I will join fully, please.
Well, I'm even ending because I have another meeting starting now. So
okay, no problem. No
thank
problem.
you so much.
Thank you very much.
So,
I would like to see the recording. I think.
All right. Godwin.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
Godwin.
yes, I'm here.
Yeah, because today is your first time, you should tell us tell us at least in some words. Tell us a time you made a bad decision or you made a mistake and how did you come
Dr.
back from
Ajide.
it? Yes, sir.
Yeah, what time can I call you today? Let's check your program.
It will be after 6:30 because the next meeting I'm going to will start from now till 6
No,
o'clock.
at your convenience.
All right, sir. I'll text you, sir.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So Godwin.
Yes, sir. I would say I'll use my work experience.
Okay.
Yeah. This happened when I was in the third year in the company I worked for.
Okay.
Most of the time, I always work in the office.
Okay.
So I was the leader of my team. So the way I actually communicate with them in the office, at some point, the guy that was on the field left the company. I think he got another job. So I was actually deployed to the field to go and work with the field guys.
Okay.
So and these are guys with experience, although most of them do not have. Most of them they have more of experience than academic qualification.
Okay.
So the way I related to them, some of them felt like it wasn't. I didn't relate with them properly. Some of them kind of felt disrespected, and immediately I noticed that they weren't really happy with my style of leadership. So I felt the need to speak to one or two of them, and there was one other guy that opened up to me and told me that they felt like I was being too authoritative. And at that point, I kind of felt like this is exactly the way I relate with my colleagues in the office, and no one has given me that impression of being authoritative. So I had to do some deep reflections, and I was really happy that I got that feedback, and I tried changing my style of leadership, and from there we were able to get along, and we even had a meeting where I told them that if any of them feels offended or feels like any of them felt like I have spoken to them in a condescending or in a wrong manner, that I'm really sorry. I understand that they understand the job very well, and from now henceforth we would relate like brothers basically. And I noticed at the end of the day there was real improvement, and we carried on, and we were able to execute. I was there for about 3 months with them, and we completed the project. It was a tank cleaning project, and we were able to deliver within the time frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's it.
Good. So you see that example, the example I've given, the example that Tidros also mentioned, the example that Tudor's also mentioned.
Just check this relational mission.
Oh,
you see, okay.
You see, my other meeting has started, so I will need to end this now. So, but I think that's all done to today. We would again see you, God willing, next week, Thursday. NC, who is NC? You're just joining us. We are just, let's just allow NC to know who is this, who is NC. And there was somebody who joined earlier who, let's just allow NC's audio to connect and so, but like we mentioned, it's NC. Welcome. Who is NC? Who are you, please? NC. Can you hear us? So see if NC is not hearing us. Oh, well, I'll need to join my other meeting now. So NC, if you can hear me, or let me type NC. So, well, what is your full name? One of the etiquettes of attending Zoom meetings is that you need to put your full names when you join any particular meeting. Okay, so the person's audio is just still connecting. One of the etiquettes of joining meetings is, okay, NC, you should be able to hear me now. I think your audio is connected. NC, can you hear me now? So you should be able to hear now. So what's your name, please? What's your full name? Well, I think I need to just end this. If you're NC, send me a text message on the WhatsApp. Let me know who you are. But like I mentioned, one of the etiquette of joining Zoom meetings is to have your full name, displayed for people to know how to address you or how to. So this issue of asking who is this will not come out. We can maximize our time. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. So on that note, we'll end today's session and we'll see you.